Hashtag rise and grind. Like, we could get into all of the things, these legacies that are being created. But what I want to share with you today, right now, is I'm going to give you the steps that you can take to create financial and generational wealth for your family, for your kids, for your kids' kids, going forward. Tomorrow, we'll talk more about the spiritual legacy that we can leave, right? But today, I want to give you a few steps on financials. Listen, first things first. The first thing that I need you to do is I need you to position yourself just so. You need to position yourself with low overhead and high income. All right? You need to live below your means. Our church, Southland Christian Church, they have this thing called 10-10-80, right? Where they save 10%. They save it. They don't touch it. They save 10%. They give 10%. Right? Give 10, save 10, live off the 80. Live off the 80s, debt free. And when you live off the 80, you save 10 and you give 10, it puts you in a position where you can start to create generational wealth. Too many of us make the mistake of outspending our income, of taking on too much additional debt. Now, there are some times where they're good debt, but they're rare, right? They're rare, and it's not the typical debt that most people have. I need you to live below your means. Now, if you're not necessarily in a position right there, you're like, okay, well, I don't have enough income. I don't even have enough right now to support my bills. Then here's what I suggest. Step 2 is you need to make sure to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself to learn financial awareness. Invest in yourself to learn the things maybe your parents didn't teach you. Invest in yourself and surround yourself with people who are making smart money decisions. Invest in yourself so that you can learn how. How do I save? How do I give? How do I live below my means? Learn. Study. Then, once you've done that, we've put ourselves in a position where we're living below our means, right? But it's time for you to invest in yourself. You are the greatest asset that you have on this planet, in this earth. It's you. You have what it takes. You were made by God, the God of the universe. You have gifts. It's time for you to invest in you. Bet on you. I'm willing to bet on you. Are you? So invest in yourself. Then, here's what I need you to do. I need you to start, like, you have to fertilize, just like we talked about with the tree earlier, right? We talked about with the apple tree. Once we get it planted, we got to fertilize it. We got to make sure it's got all the nourishment that it needs. Well, you're going to have to fertilize and protect your financial situation. Now, you do this through very smart investments, dropping very little money in the things that don't bring you fruit and investing heavily in the things that do. Real estate is one of the smartest investments that you can make. Long-term wealth is passed down through property, land, and real estate. Always has been. All right? It always has been. So if you could start to make some moves real estate-wise, I highly suggest you do so. Start to save up. Start to save up for that next property. That's how you're going to pass down some generational wealth. That's how you're going to leave a legacy. Now, once you've put yourself, you've invested in yourself, you're living below your means, you've got some money to be able to invest in things that bring you fruit, then I need you to freaking work your tail off, dude. You see, just like we talked about with the apple tree, you must constantly water and replenish. You must water and replenish. And what that means is that you can't stop. It will ultimately dry out. You have to keep adding to the pool. You have to work hard. You have to work smart. You have to make strategies. You have to ultimately build wealth. You have to continue feeding this thing. It's not a one-time thing. It's not like there's a finish line. Oh, I've made it. It doesn't exist. Continue to pour into it. Continue to invest. Continue to be smart. Continue to be disciplined. Put in the work. If you got to pick up some extra work right now, put in some work. If they told you, hey, it's okay for you to just sit on the couch and we'll pay you a little bit of check and you can eat your Cheetos all day. If that's what they told you, don't listen to them. That's not how you create a legacy. That's not how you create long-term financial legacy that's going to make an impact on your kids, and your kids' kids. You're going to have to put in some work, my friends. You have to put in some work. Then what I need you to do is I need you to continue to make sure those roots go deep. Those roots ultimately, over time, is the only way. They will dig deep. And remember, as it takes time, as it takes months or maybe years for you to put yourself in this position where you can create this financial legacy, just know that it's not for you. It's not for you. It's for them. It's for that next generation. This is how you create a legacy, my friends. The legacy is tied to what you leave behind. That's it. What are the traditions you're going to leave behind? What is the education that you're going to leave behind? What is the lesson that you're going to leave behind? What is the impact that you're going to leave behind? What is the financial growth and understanding that you are going to leave behind? The legacy is tied to what you leave behind. That's where the miracle exists. Physically, mentally, spiritually. Put in the effort now. That way, those that come after you can bear the fruits forever.
#RiseAndGrind.